Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. Happy 2026, everybody. Oh, my good Lord, what's going on? Oh, I think I got the camera stuff worked out, but I had to crank the lights in the studio because it was real bad last stream. What's going on, everybody? Oh, my goodness. We are going to... I pulled up some articles in case I run out of things to say about the thing that the stream is titled. And for those of you who have seen the title of the stream, I finally decided to check out The Witcher 3. And that's, so we're going to talk about that, and I'm kind of underwhelmed with it, to say the least, but we'll get into all of that. And I've had extensive conversations with a couple of friends of mine to like, figure out why. It's like, wait a minute, what do you mean? You're underwhelmed with it, and you got to figure out why? Well, yeah, but don't beat me to the good part, okay? So we're just going to chill. Thank you so much to the Saska sisters for jumping in. I don't know if they're still here, but thank you so much to Twisted Twins Studios for jumping in and saying hello. Happy 2026 to you. It's going to be a fun night as always. Witcher 3 is awesome. Xavier Guzman. Okay, we're going to get into this. It's going to be Fire Stream of the Year. You want to burn down your credibility? Probably. No. So, okay, just don't beat me to the good part, okay? But before we do, as I've said, you know what? I want you guys, it's 2026, first stream of the year. We're going to start off with a prayer for everybody. If you have anybody in your thoughts and your prayers or anybody in your family or friends that you want to offer up a prayer for tonight, let's do that. As a community, I think that's important that we do that. So let's take this moment. We're going to have some fun tonight as always, but let's offer up a prayer for those in our lives and our family and give grace to God really quickly. So in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost, amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost, amen. All right. Thank you all so much. And keep those people who you offered that prayer up in your thoughts and prayers, and ask others to say a prayer for them because I'm sure they could use it. So let's get into this. Okay. So I decided to check out Witcher 3 because it was on sale on Steam. And I still got my work boots on. I still got my winter boots on. They're heavy. But anyway, it was on sale on Steam, and I have heard from everybody for years that Witcher 3 is goated. It is the GOAT. For a lot of people, it's just full stop. It is the GOAT. How is my audio, by the way? Let me know. It's still a new setup, testing stuff out. But I purchased it for like $10 because I was like, man, that's a really good price because Steam was doing their winter sale. I actually bought a couple games. Indie game. I bought an indie game that I still need to check out. I bought Witcher 3, and then I also bought Solasta 1, the original Solasta, because I wanted to check that out to see what that's like, because I heard good things about it. So anyway, going back to it. So I buy Witcher 3, and I start playing it. And I am, at this point, 20 hours into the game, and my overall opinion of the game after 20 hours in, which is, I would say, an exorbitant amount of time to have the opinion that I have. And my opinion is like, yeah, I mean, like, it's okay. Like, it's, it's a game. And there's a lot of factors that go into this. And one of the first things that really stuck out to me, and it's something that is a common complaint, is like the combat system. Obviously, the combat system's a little wonky. You got to get used to it and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. But man, where do I even begin with this? Okay, so let's start with what my friends say that I do, because I talked to a couple of my friends who absolutely love this game. One of my friends has put like over 1,000 hours. He's on his 8th playthrough. Another one of my buddies is like, no, he's like, it's absolutely a great game. I've played it multiple times. I love it. He's like, I wouldn't say it's my GOAT of all time. He's like, but it definitely is a great game. And they're like, you know what your problem is, Royce? Your problem is that when people tell you something is really, really good, they're like, you go in and you analyze the absolute crap out of it. And you're like, it's not like you're cynical about it, but it's like, you're like, okay, everybody said this is really good. I'm going to analyze it and make sure it's really good. I feel like my monitor is super, super bright right now, like with the rest of my lights. Let me try to fix that. There we go. All right, less washed out. So, and I'm like, I don't think I do that. And all of my friends are like, that's exactly what you do. Shut up. That's what you do. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I kind of went in with the expectations of this game because everybody says that it's absolutely fantastic. Everybody tells me that it has this amazing writing and amazing characters and all of this stuff. And the game is so good. And I just keep seeing everywhere that this game is really good. So I'm getting into the game. And I mean, overall first impressions, I'm like, okay. And I even ask people, I'm like, okay, do I need background lore? Do I need to play the first two? And overall, people are like, no, you can play Witcher 3 as a standalone game. You're going to love it. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm getting into the game early. And I'm like, all right, I mean, it's definitely a game. Characters are definitely characters. I mean, not the worst writing that I've ever seen, but I made this analogy to my buddy today because I had some paperwork that I needed to do. And my paperwork involves scanning and filing and scanning and filing. So I was talking with my buddy about it. You definitely need to know a bunch of the lore. See, yeah, nobody else said that to me. So anyway, Xavier Guzman. So I appreciate the comment. So I tell my buddy, I'm like, when somebody tells me the writing is amazing, I immediately think of my favorite books of all time. I immediately go to like Dante's Inferno. I immediately go to books that are high quality written like Lord of the Rings. I go to like Call of the Wild. I even think of like the Boxcar Children. I love the Boxcar Children series, or even some of the really compelling Star Wars books that I've read. The Heirs, the Young Jedi Knight series, the Heirs to the Force series. So, and then obviously Edgar Allan Poe is one of my favorite American writers of all time. And so, again, when I hear amazing writing, like, that's what I think. And when the writing in the game is closer to Harry Potter, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to lower my expectations here. And I think that's my problem, is I come from a background of reading stuff, and I was made to read stuff as a kid that was just high level, high articulation, mastery of the English language, mastery of character definition, and all of that. And so coming into this game, I'm just kind of seeing a lot of stuff that I've seen before. The reason that I'm checking out, I love the fantasy genre. I think the fantasy genre is absolutely awesome. I've seen a bunch of live action television shows. I've watched a bunch of different fantasy style movies. I've listened to a bunch of different, fantasy style podcasts and stuff like that. Freaking love all that stuff. But I'm like, okay, the character, none of it's bad. Like, none of the characters are written badly, but they're not top tier in my opinion as of 20 hours into the game, right? Not the missions and the quests that I've done so far. I'm like, all right, yeah, it's kind of there. It's all right. Half awake and late. What's up? Hey, God of Plague. We're talking about my underwhelming experience with The Witcher 3 so far. Now, I do need to say this. I am going to continue playing The Witcher 3. It's been hard for me to get the motivation to go back and play it, but I am going to continue to play it and try to at least beat it so that way I can formulate my opinion. So, one of the mistakes that I've made, and I've been told that this is a mistake, is that I decided to play the game on normal mode. Maji Chan says way too much nudity, hard pass. Yeah, for a lot of people, that's a turnoff. There's a lot of people that they don't want nudity in games. I get it. Howdy, chat. What's going on, Jane Schultz? It's good to see everybody here tonight. I know it's been a while since I've streamed, so if you guys didn't get the notifications, or if you think somebody didn't get the notification, share this out for me. That would be very lovely if you would share this out. So that way you can let all of the rest of everybody know that I'm live and talking about and probably having the worst opinion about The Witcher 3 on the internet, which I can't believe I'm doing this, but you know what? Might as well. So I picked normal mode. And the reason that I picked normal mode is because back in the day, so a little short history about me. I kind of stopped playing games around 2009. For money reasons and for just, I was very focused on music and playing in bands and trying to do that stuff. And then I met my wife, and then my wife and I started having kids. And then I played a couple of games in that time. I played the Uncharted series in that time. I went back and played some older titles, but I wasn't like gaming like I am now. Not realistically until 2019. And so I took like a 10-year break from like gaming a lot. So I missed a huge chunk of games. So I think that's kind of colored my opinion. But I remember when I was younger, and when you put a game on normal mode, you were still going to get your teeth kicked in, and you still had to kind of know the game very well to be able to play it. So I'm sitting here playing this game, playing The Witcher 3 on normal mode, because unless the developer says this is not our recommended difficulty level, our recommended difficulty level is here. I didn't see that in the opening thing. Maybe that was my mistake when I chose the difficulty level. But I'm sitting here playing this game, and I'm like, okay. The first thing that I notice is the combat's a little wonky, and in normal mode, I can basically ditch 95% of the mechanics in the game. As long as I smack it with the sword, eventually I'll take the monster down. And that kind of started to bother me. And I'm like, what, man, am I playing this wrong? What's going on here? And then the other thing that I noticed right off the bat is one of the things that I've been told. They're like, dude, The Witcher is so good. You can play The Witcher kind of however you want to. And like, I'm down with games that just let me play. Yeah, I got a Plague. I usually just go with normal or recommended difficulty as well. I will always go with whatever the developer says the recommended difficulty level is, because I believe that that's the level of difficulty that the developer intends. And that's the experience that they want me to have. So with that information, I will always choose whatever the developer recommends for difficulty level. Always, never not. Because if that's what the developer wants me to experience, then that's what I'm going to go with. Because I think it's just more powerful in the storytelling or whatever they're trying to do. I did not see that in The Witcher 3. And so I chose normal mode, and I'm like, man, it's just like I can ditch most of the mechanics. I don't really need to use them. It's like, okay, like I'm not going to go out and gather a bunch of materials for oils and for all this stuff if I can just smack it with the sword, and then obviously just, as I get new gear, put new gear on, and just, okay, cool, fine, whatever. So I was like, okay, so the combat mechanics are a little clunky. The actual combat, experience is lackluster because of the normal mode difficulty, and they didn't balance it properly. And then the other thing that I noticed, I went into this game not knowing that the experience gain is around questing. So I started off, and as soon as it kind of let me loose, I'm out, I'm slaughtering monsters, I'm doing my best to get stuff down, and I look, and I'm like, why have I not leveled up yet? And I was still like a level 2, and I'm like, what's going on? What is going on here? Why have I not leveled up yet? And I found out your experience level and your leveling is tied to. Well, hold on. I am usually a loot goblin. You are correct. But we're going to get into that. So I find out, because what makes me a loot goblin is I get to run around, slaughter stuff. I gain XP for slaughtering stuff, and then I go and I loot whatever, and I take all that stuff in. But all of a sudden, I'm not gaining XP. I'm not being able to level my character the way that I've done in a lot of games that have similar systems. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, all right, experience is tied to questing. So why do I need to go and explore the open world? Because the only thing that the open world exploration is giving me so far is damage to my weapons, damage to my armor, and money that I have to pay to fix all that stuff. And I'm not getting XP and leveling, because I am the guy who I will, if given the opportunity, I will walk into the first boss of the game at level 100. That's just me. I get into games like this, And my whole mentality is hit that grind set mindset, and we're going to grind it out until basically I turn the game into journalist mode, not because I selected journalist mode, but because I hit that grind set mindset. I level, I am basically just a walking god. I'm just a walking demigod. And then I just go through the game because that's how I like to play. I like to get all the hardship out of the way in the beginning and then just coast through the end. Did a very similar thing with Expedition 33, although I couldn't do it quite as early in the game as I would have liked to, but that's exactly what I did. Hit that grind set mindset, found a place that I could absolutely level up. And then on top of that, I don't min-max completely, but I do put a lot of time into it. And Xavier Guzman says, I'm actually the opposite. I want to go to the boss as fast as possible, like in the new Zelda. Yeah, no. If I'm going to walk into the new boss and he's just like, I'm so powerful and you don't understand me, and then I smack him and he dies. I'm like, no, you don't understand. But again, I get all of that out of the way in the beginning. And so I realize, okay, the game is not going to reward me for playing the way that I want to play. And I've been told that The Witcher, I've heard this from people. I even had a conversation with my buddy the other night. And he's like, no, dude, you can play however you want, whatever you want to do as a player. I'm like, no, what you don't understand is the systems in the game are not designed for me to play how I want to play, which is something that I noticed, very early on. So now it's just like, okay, so now I have to go through all this. I've just got a quest. So I go into towns. I don't even read what's on the board. I collect all the things on the board. If there's a quest in there, I go out and do it. Make sure you find out what the quest level is, because if you just track a quest, Wrangler for 420. Ow, thank you for that super chat, good sir. I appreciate it. But so I can't do the grind set mindset with this. The combat is woefully misbalanced for normal mode. And then come to find out, trying to figure out, okay, can I make the combat more engaging? Well, come to find out, if you bump it up one to like not skull and bones, but bones and something. Anyway, it's a hard mode difficulty. Basically, a lot of people are like, yeah, it's in the early stages, it is just brutally difficult. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to beat my face against this right now. Like, I use a normal mode playthrough to understand the systems, to have some challenge, to really test me, and to get me to a point where I feel like I can play hard mode. That's how I've always done games. I play on normal mode and then I go to hard mode, and come to find out, after I got to a point where I was like, I need to figure out what's going on. I'm playing this game wrong, apparently. And I come to find out, yeah, a lot of people are like, the difficulty jump between normal to hard is absolutely wild. And basically, normal mode does not prepare you for hard mode at all. And especially the opening levels, where it's just very brutal, and you basically have to be very good at the game once you enter into that. I've never played this game before. I'm not very good at this game. So I'm like, okay, so the developers obviously misbalanced their combat systems between the level difficulties, and obviously woefully misbalanced the combat systems with normal difficulty, because you can just skip most of the stuff. And then as I'm going on, it's like, okay, well, I don't need any of the oils. I don't need any of this other stuff to level. And I'm like, why would I want to go out and explore the world? Well, the thing is if you have to use the potions and if you have to use the potions and the oils and the mutagens, that's where you would go out and explore, and you would just go and you'd start hacking stuff down and doing all that. And it's like, okay, but I'm already on a difficulty level that none of that matters. So I don't really care about that. It's going to be, it's not presenting me with the opportunity necessarily to go out and just get hella freaking powerful, at least as far as I am in the game so far. And and basically, it's the entire progression system of the game that I was just not feeling. And I had to think about this and talk with my buddies. I'm like, why? Because it's just a feeling. I was playing the game and I'm like, something's off. I just don't. It's not right. And so I really had to kind of sit and think about it, because I'm not just like, well, it just didn't vibe with me. Fuck off. Like, no, but it really was. I just wasn't vibing with Witcher 3. I was not vibing with the game. And I couldn't figure it out. And so I had to sit there and I was thinking about all of the things that I was doing and the stuff and the systems that are there and this, that, and the other thing. And I realized, oh, this game legitimate. Like, I am just not the type of player. Like, keep in mind, I'm the type of person who put like 150 hours or 170 hours into Kingdoms of Amalur. I'd have to go pull it up on my PlayStation because that's the one I have it on. And Kingdoms of Amalur is largely lambasted for being just one of the worst types of third-person, like action, adventure, RPG style games like this. It does not carry a lot of favor. And my buddy laughed at me when he was like, dude, it's so funny that you are actually presenting more issues that you have with Witcher 3 than you did Kingdoms of Amalur. Because I did have issues with Kingdoms of Amalur. But I didn't have enough issues with them where I was just like, man, I want to put this. I just don't know if I want to go back to the game, because I am in a position right now. I've been in a position where I'm like, I don't know if I want to go back to The Witcher 3. And then on top of that, people are like, no, dude, it's about the story. You've got to get into the story and the characters and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, and they're like, you just have to immerse yourself in the game. And I told one of my buddies, I was like, when the game does its job well enough that it immerses me, I don't think you understand. I'm the player. I don't need to immerse myself in the game. The game wants me to do it. And then the game needs to force that immersion on me. That's what a good game does, is all of a sudden you just, bam, you're in, you're sold. Everybody knows that moment when you fire up a game, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're just into it, because the game did its job. It got you, it held you, and now you're just into the game. And so far, I mean, I did the Bloody Baron, the raging alcoholic who beat his wife, caused a miscarriage, and then the baby turned into some sort of a monster, and then he named the baby and all. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I've seen about 20 different versions of that same exact story in multiple different medias, between television shows, different books, different anime and stuff like that. Like, I've seen this before. There was some witchy lady that I met, and you eventually meet her topless, and then then you do a bunch of her side quests, and she wants to go on this, I don't even remember her name. This is where I'm at. I haven't even committed the names to memory. I know Geralt. I can't even remember the names of any of the other characters. And then she wants to go on this Cinderella dinner out in the woods, and then you find out that she tricked you, and then I ended up, and then she tricked me, and I went over to the island where she stole the papers that I apparently should have gotten rid of or whatever, and I found out she was using me, and so she's dead now. I got rid of her because, whatever. And the game actively discourages me from exploration of the world the way that I want to, because I'm not just going to run out. I'm not going to run out and go end a bunch of monsters and potentially get oils and all this stuff for it, and then get weapon damage, armor damage, and all of that for no XP. That's just not my jam. It forces me to just quest to quest, which is the only way that I can level. And that's what I care about when I play a game. I want to level now, and I want to be able to go through this game and just smack stuff and put it down. And this game actively does not let me play like that. And then on top of that, the writing isn't so compelling that it's just over the top good. And so I've been talking with my buddies about it, And like I said earlier, when people tell me the writing is really good and I'm thinking like Lord of the Rings, Dante's Inferno, Edgar Allan Poe, I haven't read C.S. Lewis yet, but you can throw the Chronicles of Narnia up there. Like a bunch of the big classics, the guys that were just masters of language, the guys that could tell a story that could just make you feel stuff. And I'm getting something that's probably closer to Harry Potter in levels of writing. It's probably better than Harry Potter. I've seen the movies and those are okay. But I needed to woefully temper my expectations of the writing when I talk with people and they say the writing is good. When they say this game is so good, and then I get into it and I'm just struggling as the type of player that I am to just enjoy this game. Like, I should be playing this game and going, yeah, I'd like to continue. And at this point, I'm like, I could or I couldn't, and it doesn't really matter. It's meh. It's not so bad. It's not so bad that I'm going to say the game is trash, because that's stupid. That would be woefully dumb. But it's definitely not. I don't know how people can hold The Witcher 3 up to the levels that they are holding it up to based off of just what I've seen of the game so far. So that's basically where I'm at with it. It's the progression system. It's, the writing is okay. The characters are okay. Nothing's great. I've seen a lot of this stuff before. People are like, oh, the world is just so beautiful. The world looks like a fucking fantasy world. I've seen a lot of fantasy animes. It definitely looks like a fantasy world. Just that is just where I've landed with The Witcher 3. I am going to continue it, and maybe I'll continue it and I'll do a full review. I'm not going to screen record any of my gameplay or anything like that, which I probably should, but I just don't want to. But as of right now, like I say, I'm 20 hours into the game. I could probably pull it up here, actually. 20.9 hours is what my Steam says. And I'm not understanding what the hype is. So, all of that being said, you guys know where I'm coming from with The Witcher 3. Was I lied to about the game? What's going on? What do you guys think about my opinions so far of The Witcher 3? I had a lot of comments because I was just trying to get through my thoughts there for a minute. Xavier Guzman says that's God of Plague says, that's one thing I like about RPGs where you can change difficulty mid-play. Usually isometric CRPGs let you do that. I think I can change it mid-play here too. But yeah, CRPGs usually let you do that. Xavier Guzman says Red Dead 2 is the ultimate immersion. If I was into cowboys and the Midwest and stuff like that, but I've always said my genre of American outlaw is the 1920s and 1930s bootleggers and gangsters. Give me a game in that. Give me a Red Dead 2, but set in that time period. Because I don't know, cowboys and it's just not. It's whatever. I've never been into westerns. Jane Schultz, my moment with Skyrim was rounding a river bend and seeing Whiterun and Dragon's Reach. I've never played Skyrim. I've never played any Bethesda games, to be honest. God of Plague Rogue Trader did that for me. I felt like space nobility on the frontier of known space. Yeah, I actually have Rogue Trader in my Steam wish list. I have it in my Steam wish list. I actually want to give that a shot. I've heard it's pretty good. I want to give that a shot. Oh, come on. Scroll. There we go. Mario Trujillo. It says something that its 10-year anniversary was last year and nobody talked about it. Dude, I don't know. I still see people posting like these long video essays about this game and just how good it is and this, that, and the other thing. And I and then, man, and when I told people, I'm like, yeah, I'm like 20 hours into the game. And they're up. That's nothing for The Witcher. You need to play it more. I'm like, dude, I spent technically half of a legal work week. Right. I spent half of a legal work week in this game, and I'm still not feeling it. And I asked people, I'm like, how much longer do I need to play in order for the game to finally show up? I asked my buddy, I'm like, dude, how much longer? Oops, sorry, kick the mic. I'm like, how much longer do I need to play before the game, before the hook of the game shows up? My buddy tells me today, and he's honest. He goes, the hook of the game already showed up. He goes, dude, I'm just sorry to say. He's like, I just don't think it's your game. I just don't think it's your jam. I mean, that's the thing. I am the type of person that I will like. I'll use the Pokemon games for example, because this is the type of person that I am. I will grind out until I am like level 40 or 50 before I hit the first gym in a Pokemon game. Last one that I played was Pokemon Shield. I don't really care about Pokemon games, but that's the easiest example that I can give you. I will go grind out massive amount. Like, and I always tell people, when you're 30 levels over the Pokemon, type advantage doesn't matter. Like, that's how I get. That's my mentality with games, right there in a nutshell. Like, that is exactly how I play. I will go through excruciating, mind-numbing amounts of grind in the beginning, just so I can walk through the rest of the game. And this game is not that game. Jane Schultz, there's supposedly DLC in the works for Witcher 3, though. Yes, supposedly there is. Supposedly there is new DLC coming out. God of Plagues, good for modern writers, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know. People, again, when people tell me the writing is so good, I go in with expectations. And I'm starting to realize I maybe need to lower those a lot. And that's maybe my fault. Maybe I thought this was going to be something magical. I don't know. Maybe I might. Who knows? I'd have to move all my screens and stuff over. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll boot up Witcher 3 on the stream tonight. I don't know. I got to work. I got to work tomorrow. I have 3 travel days in a row that I have to do. So probably want to try to go. Probably want to try to go to bed a little early tonight. You know what I'm saying? Jane Schultz. The bits of gameplay I've seen of Witcher 3 have either been okay or tropey meh. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Not trope. Yeah, I don't know. There's some tropes in there. There's not a lot. I mean, there's tropes in everything, though. Like, you can't avoid. People are like, I try to avoid the tropes. I'm like, tropes are good. Use the tropes, but use them well. Like... Mario Trujillo, the first few Narnia books, I think you mean are great. The later books get really weird. I've heard that. Jay Schultz, that's fair. Mario, Prophecies of War and the End of the World are weird. Wait, what? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, sorry. You're talking. You guys are having a private conversation in my chat. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize. Why isn't there an Al Capone RPG? Dude, not even Al Capone, man. Just like in that world where you could like meet Al Capone, maybe run into John Dillinger. Just take all the famous peoples, like all the famous gangsters, and just plop them in this world and be like, hey, we used historical gangsters. None of this is historically accurate, but we wanted you to just run around and meet all the historical peoples. That would be cool. I'd like that. That'd be fun. I'd be down. Like I said in my post, the momentum, timing, and goodwill is what made it real popular. I am starting to think that. Ain't that the Mafia franchise? I've heard pluses and minuses about the Mafia franchise. I do. It was on sale, and I thought about it, but it wasn't on sale enough to where it was just like, all right, I'll buy it. You know, so... yeah, but the Mafia franchise does kind of offer some of that. Jane Schultz says, the video I've seen do deep dives of which are mostly focused on the books. I watch a lot of video game content, so I watch specifically stuff that go over games. So, I never feel it halfway through a work week. I never feel it halfway through a work week. Yeah. Dude, if I'm 20 hours into your game and I'm still wondering why people think it's awesome and great, I'm kind of wondering what's going on here. Because like I said, I've been told so many things about this game over the years, and I just... and even my buddy, my buddy tells me, he goes, dude, he goes, knowing you, and this is my buddy who's he's very objective about a lot of stuff. And he goes, as soon as you told me you bought it, he was like, I was pretty sure you weren't gonna vibe with it. He's like, which is dumb because I love third person action RPG style games. Love third person action RPG style games. I freaking adore them. I've even played bad ones. Again, Kingdoms of Amalur being one of them. But yeah, this one just I'll keep going. I'm gonna keep going, but my goodness, Lord, it is a resounding meh. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's, do I want to keep playing? And I think I need to. I need to stick it out for however long I need to stick it out for. I might crank the difficulty too. I don't know. We'll find. Mario Trijo. You're a min-maxer. Do you mean min-maxer? Kind of, yeah, kind of. I don't go as hardcore as a lot of people do, but definitely that's my play style. Like, I want as efficient of a build as I can. And I also, like I said, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to open up the game and hit that grind set mindset and just go for it. And that is not this game. Not this game offering me the grind set mindset. I stopped playing Pokemon after the 3rd gen. My kids are enjoying the early anime, but I do think they're starting to age out of that appeal. My 3rd daughter just got hella into Pokemon this year. And she's 10. And she's like Pokemon everything right now. The only Pokemon game I played as a kid was Pokemon Gold. Because that's the only one that I owned. And then, hey, what's going on? Punished John. Jumping on to say hi before I go live with Shad. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't do that ban stuff, because that would suck. What? No, don't do it. Right. I did that with Final Fantasy. I got super into the grind. Then the bosses were easy. Dude, that's the way I love to play, man. Get super into the grind. Just grind out the first many hours. I mean, I'll spend an obscene amount of time grinding. And then I'm like, all right, I think I can continue with the game. And then just walk through it. It's pretty good. Mario Trio, try L.A. Noire if you're looking for a Mafia RPG. I've heard good things about L.A. Noire. I've heard very good things about L.A. Noire. Hey, John, by the way, tell Shad I say hi. Tell Shad I say hi. I haven't seen him in a hot minute. Tell him I say hi. Tell him God bless, too. Hey, tell him I say God bless, okay? Please. So, if John is still here and he heard that, that would be cool. Gotta played. I think I was 18 when Pokemon came out. It was the reason I bought a Game Boy for my brother and I. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, goodness. I was when Pokemon came out. Was it 97 in the US? When did it come out in the US? Was it 97, 98? I was like 6. Yeah, I was like 6. I was like right in the target demographic. Always thought Digimon was better. Because it is. Digimon is objectively better. I love Digimon. So good. Punish Jones says, I enjoyed the first Pokemon with my little brother, but by the time a new game came along, I discovered a better game called... Oh, goodness. I'm not reading that. So you were old enough. Okay. Have you tried the Souls games? No, I don't. I don't like the art style or the aesthetic. I respect the Souls games for what they do, though. They have a difficulty level, and they tell their players, "Hey, this is what to expect with our games, and if that's not what you want to do, then don't play it." And I highly respect the developers for that. I don't care for the aesthetic of the Souls games. They just don't. I'm like, oh joy, another neo-gothic / Victorian. We don't really know what style we're going for. Dark fantasy edgelord thing. That's how I see. Yeah, the Souls games. I don't know. People say they're good. We have Elden Ring. I've got Elden Ring upstairs, the disc, for our PlayStation 4. I just don't care. They just don't look. I don't know. There was one Digimon game for the PS2 that was frustrating as hell, but the anime was fun. Anime was super fun. The Digi Revolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know it was coming? What is that from? Embrace the weeb slop of Xenoblade. I got a big T waifus. That's only on Nintendo. I'm good. I'm not spending money on Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's pissing me off. Just their whole everything that they do. You don't know the Digirap? Oh, that's the Digirap? No, I knew. Oh my gosh. So you know the band that did a lot of like the music here in the US that was playing. If you remember the anime, you remember the one that went, the song that was like, it was like, I don't know, it was like pop rock style music. That band got so utterly screwed over by 4Kids TV, they basically stopped doing. No, look up the band that did a lot of the music for the show. I cannot remember their name. I looked it up at one time, but basically, I think they basically quit after that because they thought they were it was like this big deal. They were gonna never amounted to any. They got so screwed over by that deal. I actually have their music on a CD somewhere in the house. I actually have the Digimon soundtrack. Because I thought because I love the music still to this day. I think they're really good. But yeah, they got so screwed over on that. So screwed over. I love Monster Rancher though. Popping in CDs to see what monster it contained was super fun on the PlayStation. That's cool. 4Kids screwed us all. 4Kids was terrible. 4Kids, like, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, hey, well, that doesn't really make sense in the show. And then you get older and you kind of start to look into it and you're like, oh, yeah, the reason that didn't fucking make sense is because that straight up didn't make sense because they it's like they didn't even Americanize it. Like, all right, hear me out, chat. Okay. The 4Kids dubs are worse than modern day woke slop dubs. I said it. Because I've seen the egregiousness that they did with like Yu-Gi-Oh and like a lot of Digimon and like I mean they had to go and do Dragon Ball Z Kai because of a lot of the crap that they pulled. It was wild. Here on YouTube, Jonathan Young did a rock cover of the Pokemon theme with Jason Page guest starring. I have a signed card from Jason Page up here. My wife bought it for me. It is a signed card, and it's personalized too. My wife bought it. She went to his website because I respect him as an artist to do that song that he did. And so it's not like I'm not a big Pokemon fan, but my wife knows I'm a music fan. And I'm sorry, that Pokemon song, it's hair metal. It's fucking hair metal. The Pokemon theme song that all of us grew up with loving here in the US, that some people have even said that Japan, this is the one theme, anime theme Japan wished they came up with. I've seen that comment before, and I think it's funny, so I just say it now. That it's 80s hair metal. That could be, the Pokemon theme song could be a Bon Jovi song. Listen to the instruments. Pull up that song, get some really good headphones or something on that you can hear all the nuances going on in that. It's a Bon Jovi tune. The Pokemon theme song is a Bon Jovi tune. Fight me. Man, I'm saying a lot of shit tonight that I probably shouldn't say. I haven't even drank that much. This is only my 4th beer. Okay. 4 beers is not enough for me. Oh, God. Voltron. Wait, hold on. Oh, I missed some things. Voltron was adapted better in the 80s, and it was laughable, save the guitar riffs. Yeah. 4Kids was worse than an 80s adaptation. 4Kids was terrible. 4Kids is the real far right craziness. 4Kids is the real far right crazy. Wait, what? The pre-Funimation Oka Ocean Studios to Dragon Ball. Yeah. Okay. Yes, they did. You are correct. I'm sorry. I was thinking, I'm sorry. I got my wires crossed there. You are correct. They did that. I apologize. They did the Dragon Ball Z Kai because during the time of the actual release of the anime, the manga wasn't far enough in front of the anime for them to properly adapt it. So they kept stretching out episodes. That's why the Frieza fight was 25 episodes long. And they went to clean that stuff. My wires got crossed. Thank you. I apologize. I was hating on 4Kids, and then I wanted to hate them for something that they didn't do. 4Kids TV. My gosh. I gotta run. Thank you so much for being here, Wrangler. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great night, and God bless. God bless. Happy New Year, dude. Jane Schultz, I'm currently watching DBZ with husband. His first time. Oh, goodness. He likes the Japanese opening, right? I still play Rock the Dragon every now and then for my better. Okay. Rock the Dragon is okay. Chala Head Chala cannot be beat. I am sorry. I think Chala Head Chala is so much better than Rock the Dragon. That's okay. They deserve it. Bryce, 4Kids TV deserves all of the hate, even the hate that they don't deserve. They still deserve that hate. It's true. They do. They're terrible. They're a horrible company. It was. Log Horizon was my favorite in a while. I don't know Log Horizon. I'm not familiar with that one. So I'm going to be honest, guys. I want to take a break and go back to The Witcher 3 real quick. I thought I was going to get a lot more hate for what I was saying about The Witcher 3. But most everybody in the chat was like, it's reasonable. Did I have a reasonable take? I thought I had a hot take. Did I have a reasonable take? I'm losing my edge. I'm losing my edge. And that's how it be. Anyway, I did pull up some other stories that I wanted to share with everybody. So now I actually have to go and pull it up and get absolutely blasted by the light. Ugh. Blinded by the light. Nah, if you're not into the play style, it's reasonable. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, I had a blinding VoIP. Yes, blinding VoIP. Yes. Okay, so over here on PC Mag, dude, this is an old one. I saw this over the break. Had to do it. I just thought this was absolutely buck wild that this is even a conversation. NVIDIA GeForce Now's time limit will stop gamers after 100 hours each month. So first of all, I didn't even know people played on the NVIDIA GeForce Now launcher. I didn't know people did that. I don't know anybody who does do that. Everybody that I know goes through Steam, but apparently you're not going to be able to play more than 100 hours each month. So the game streaming service will make almost all of its users pay extra for extended access. If you use NVIDIA's GeForce Now streaming, you may soon be limited on how long you can play for. Gosh, I should probably learn to read. I was talking about reading and learning stuff earlier and being highly educated. I can't read. The brand is introducing a 100-hour monthly time limit before you have to pay extra each month. Oh my gosh. GeForce Now is a cloud-based streaming service which lets you play your own games. They're obviously not your own games. If that is a streaming service, no. Through more powerful remote hardware. You can then stream titles to various devices, including your own computers, smart TVs, smartphones, select handheld consoles, and VR headsets. In late 2024, NVIDIA introduced a 100-hour cap for those who signed up after January 1, 2025. Existing subscribers were exempt for the last 12 months, but it's changing on January 1st, 2026. The brand new update, the brand has now updated its FAQ page on its website to talk through the new rules for almost all the subscribers. If you want to play for longer, you can buy 15-hour blocks of time. That's $3 for those on the performance, previously called priority tier, while those on the top end ultimate option pay $6. The performance plan costs $9.99 a month. The ultimate's $20 a month. So the more, oh my gosh. Bro, they looked at Xbox Game Pass and were like, hold my beer. How do you say hold my beer to Microsoft? Oh man, there's also an ad-supported free tier where you can play for an hour at a time. Oh man, NVIDIA is getting out of gaming. They're just there. If you don't use all your 100 hours in a month, the service will automatically roll over 15 hours of playtime into the next period. Oh my gosh. It's no mean feat to hit 100 hours of playtime each month. That's over 13% of a 31-day month. But if gaming is your main hobby, you may find this limit frustrating as it'll stop you playing as many games. Dude, I've cleared several hundred hours of a game. If I get into a game, I can clear 150 to 200 hours in a month. And that, I mean, I kind of know lifing it at that. I have to go to work and then I come home and I play However, if you're a longtime subscriber of GeForce Now, you may not be impacted. Those who subscribed to the founder member scheme before March 17th, 2021 aren't subject to the same limit. You'll need to keep your membership running to continue the benefit. Oh my goodness. Hey gamers. By the way, have you heard that you're going to own nothing and you'll be happy? Also, have you heard the thing that your rent you're not going to be able to do anyway, but you're still going to give us money for it? They are literally charging for you to have playtime for the games that you want to play. Gaming streaming services, we need to stop this crap. This is ridiculous. The fact that Microsoft and Game Pass did what they did and they lost a sizable portion of their audience. Now, I didn't even know NVIDIA did this streaming thing. I think I'd heard about it in the past, but I'm like, why would I do that? I'm just going to buy my games on Steam. And if Steam gets worse, we're just going to go to GOG and we're going to start downloading from GOG because that's going to be the best way to do it. But the fact that NVIDIA is now saying you're not allowed, like, we are altering the deal. Pray we don't alter it any further. They're like, oh, you were paying us so you could play games from our streaming service? Well, you're not paying us enough, and we think you're playing too much. So you're going to pay us $3 for on the low tier for every additional 15 hours you want to play. Dude, that I know people that will clear 15 hours in 3 days. After they get done with work, they're playing at the end of the day. My wife is over here. She's raising her hand. Yeah. Hey, baby. So just quick thought from, the big titty metalhead in the room. Quick thought. Okay. How would you feel about a game streaming? You sign up for a game streaming service. It's $10 a month, right? You get to go and you get to play the games that are streaming, right? You don't have to download, you stream them. And they say, oh, hey, by the way, we're changing the deal. Now, if you play more than 100 hours a month, you're not going to be able to play your games anymore. You have to pay us an additional $3 for every 15 hours additional you want to play. Okay, my wife gives the bird. My wife, she this is what she did. How does NVIDIA think that this is even a viable dude, the idea of ownership of anything or even control, even just control over your life that's in a non-monetized way is disappearing. This is insane. I was listening to a clip from a show today. They say that there's one of the new Ford trucks out there. It's got like the auto driving mode. Like you get on the highway and you can hit auto drive on one of the Ford trucks. But if you want to use that feature for the vehicle that you bought, which I'm sure this is probably a $70,000 or $80,000 vehicle, you have to pay a subscription service of $200 a year for a feature that your vehicle already has. And now you have to pay, if it's $10 a month, that's $120 a year for NVIDIA's streaming service. And now for every additional 15 hours a month that you want to play, you have to pay an additional $3. What? I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating the facts here, but I don't think we've heard the stupidity of this business decision enough. I mean, and I know NVIDIA's already going all in on this AI crap, and they are abandoning the games market just as in general as a whole. And so I don't know if this is a ploy because a lot of people were like, fuck NVIDIA because of the way that they've been acting lately, the way that they've been walking away from the games market, the way that everything that they're doing is causing a rapid increase in RAM and CPUs and just in general, computer hardware as a whole, and people just started leaving their service. And now all of a sudden they're like, well, we need to figure out how to make this money. Well, obviously the gamers are playing too much. Well, we'll charge them for playing. You can't, who was, this is, oh my gosh, what was his name? Chat, what was his name? The guy who said that he was going to charge $5 or he was going to charge you 99 cents for every reload in Call of Duty. Who was that Activision CEO that wanted to do that? What was his name? Oh my, this is that, but just like in 2025. Who was his name? What was his name, chat? I need to know. Oh my. This is literally pay to play.
I don't
I don't understand this. This is the gaming in 2025 is so different than gaming that I grew up with. It's so different. Oh man. Let me know what you guys think about this in the chat. And obviously, if you guys are watching the VOD, let me know what you think about this in the comments. This is insane. I know I just kind of repeated some of the points, but this is absolutely crazy to me. That and here's the sad part: there are going to be people that do it. If you're locked into the NVIDIA ecosystem, I mean, you're probably not very smart to begin with. But yeah, so what say you guys? What do you think about NVIDIA doing this? Oh, goodness. I think I missed a lot of chats over here. You guys were going off. Oh my gosh. Okay. Looks at title. Absolutely not. Right, Jane Schultz? Yeah. God of Plague. They have a launcher? I know. I was as surprised as you. And now the launcher that apparently they have is getting more expensive. It sounds like Microsoft garbage. When you're so retarded as a company that you literally look at Microsoft and say, hold my beer, holy crap. Rip NVIDIA. Yeah. NVIDIA, they don't want to be in the gaming market. They're yeah. Mario Trujillo, are they really trying to force gamers to touch grass? They are. They are trying to force gamers to touch grass, which is absolutely wild. That's hilarious. Ugh. My voice is starting to go out, guys. Actually, I'm gonna catch up on the chat here, and then I might actually end it. My voice is actually getting a little rough tonight because somebody got me sick.
You're not sick.
You don't know that.
Yeah. Kind of a baby back bitch, but.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I had to yell at my wife for a second. I apologize. That was uncouth. Wait, like Google Stadia, that worked well. Oh my gosh, I forgot Google tried to do a video game console. That's right. Google tried to do a video game console. I forgot about that. Pat's my old consoles. I'm good. Yeah, until they don't work anymore, and unless you know a tech wizard that can keep them going forever. I also have old consoles. We've got PlayStation 2, Xbox One. I have the original the OG Xbox, a PlayStation 2. The Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 upstairs. So we're good there. Oh my God, they took SAO abridged advice on in-game advertisements and ran with it. SAO abridged. Sword Art Online abridged. But brain did not connect that. Yeah. Yes, they did. No. It's not that you're playing too much. You're playing and they're not getting money. Oh God, that's what it is. That's what it is. I was woefully misguided and mistaken on that. I deserve to be paid for every hour that Snow White is streamed online. Oh my gosh, I forgot that Rachel Zegler. Does she have any acting jobs? Is she acting? I want to pull up her IMDb and just be like, where is she now? That's right, because Snow White came out this last year, didn't it? Oh man. Liu99. I know plenty of casual gamers that don't make it to 100 hours a month. Those same gamers also don't have any freaking, I think you mean any freaking idea this exists. Who is this for?
Bishop.
The CEOs. It's for the CEOs. To answer your question, it's CEOs and stockholders. Bishop, no, you got to get out of here. I got cords and stuff. No, doggo. You can't, no. No, hi. Okay. All right. Yep. Hi, doggo. Yep. Hi. Yep. Hi, doggo. Okay. Yep. I gotta set my beard down now so I can move my mouse because I'm petting you. Okay. It's a good boys. Yes, you are. John Risatello, was that his name? He was EA, not Activision. Oh, yeah. Okay. He was EA, not Activision. You have children. Sickness is inevitable. I am in legitimately like the busiest time of the year for me because our company is really slow right now. So I can do all the yearly training. I am legitimately entering a time where I am going to have to do 8-hour OSHA yearly training every day, all day, and I'm going to have to talk all day, every day for a minimum of 5 days in a row coming up. Actually, the next 3 days. Tomorrow and Wednesday, I will be talking for 7 to 8 hours straight, and then Wednesday it's going to be 4 to 5 hours. So my voice is going to be shot. Crimson Law, uncouth. That's a fancy word. There's this thing called a dictionary. Inside the dictionary, it holds many a fancy word. Many of the fancy words. I always say that, but legitimately, I make my kids look up stuff in the dictionary all the time, and I still look up stuff in the dictionary. So I know a tech wizard. He has a store in the next town over from me. Can he keep old consoles running, though? That's the question. That's the question. Good doggo. Yes, Bishop is a good doggo. Absolutely. Doggo, your baby voice activated immediately, and it was cute. I am going to end the stream on that note, because I don't need you talking about my cute baby voice. That makes me shy. And I have to reach over to hit the button now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I would keep going, but yeah, my voice, it's a little rough right now. I want to keep going. I got more stories, though. Tune in. Thursday night, we'll be back. If you guys see anything at all that you would like me to react to, go into the Discord and share it with me. Let me see if I can get an invite link. Invite to server. There we go. Because I should do this. But yeah, if you guys, anything you want to share it with me in the Discord. I would love to see what you guys are seeing and thinking. And it doesn't just have to be gaming content. As long as it's fun and as long as we can have a good time with it, even if it's serious, I don't care. Share it with me. I want to know what you guys are thinking. I want to know what you guys are seeing in the world. Be here Mondays and Thursdays. And as always, God bless everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I'm going to do this show. If I'm going to have to go for 3 days speaking. Oh, gosh. So Thursday is going to be rough. I am going to sound like a chain-smoking 80-year-old woman. I already sound like a dude who never quite passed that final hump of puberty. I hate the sound of my own voice. It's like I almost got there, but I didn't, I didn't get that cool, awesome, guy voice. I'm nasally and high-pitched and sound like a weird version of Morty. Thank you all so much for being here, and as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.